Good evening. This lecture לרפואת פנינה שמחה בת אביבה, עדן בת אורלי, and עילוי נשמת שמיה בן אברהם יהודה, להצלחה ועזרה לניסים בן חנה, and ביילה לאה בת חנה, לעילוי נשמת ישראל בן יצחק יעקב, לזכות ורפואת מנחם מאיר בן רבקה רחל, להצלחת דוד בן אורלי ופרנסת טובה ושידוך, לרפואת הגוף והנפש אופטליה בת הודה בריינה וגבריאל בן שרה. Good evening everyone. I don't know if you heard today the news from Israel. Unfortunately a tragedy happened today when the religious Haredim they had a demonstration in Yerushalayim against the army. They want to recruit them to the army, and one Arab bus driver drove over one religious boy and dragged him maybe 100 feet under the bus, under the wheels of the bus, and killed him on the spot. So now it's already coming that this decree that they want against the religious people in Israel is becoming worse by the day. Also people starting to die. Dozens of people sit in jail. Israel became a country that prosecutes people for wanting to learn Torah. Last time it happened, it was by the Greeks, by the Romans, by the Babylonians, Haman, things like that. Who would believe that in a Jewish state, the people that run it, this wicked Supreme Court and all the lefty liberal traders, which I've been telling you for many, many years that they run the show. The government have no say. Nobody can do anything. They run the show, they make the decrees. I don't understand how, it's unbelievable. Because if I'm Netanyahu, I just say to the Supreme Court, I'm the boss here, not you. And whatever you rule from now on, it's not relevant. I am the boss. Like Trump. What are we going to do? Arrest him? They're going to tell the police to arrest the Prime Minister? I think the reason he doesn't do it, because the last time they tried to change something in the Supreme Court, they put 100,000 liberals on the street. Did you see what happened? 100,000 people were in demonstrating, against the government in Tel Aviv every night, like riots, which is very bad. I guess we have to sacrifice more until this decree will be cancelled. I think Hashem is testing us to see how much we're willing to sacrifice for the Torah. That's a major test now. How much you love the Torah, that you're willing to take all the suffering and all the torture, not to break, and put you in jail, whatever's going to happen. I had on Shabbat a guest by my house. Is a guy that is in yeshiva, is a divorced man. He was in yeshiva when he was younger, went to Israel, got married, had a few kids, came back now to the yeshiva after his divorce. And his son came from Israel to visit. And when his son got to the airport, they didn't let him get on a flight. They told him he's supposed to get to the army in a few months. You're not supposed to fly to America. They didn't let him on a flight. They don't care, you lose the ticket, whatever. After all kinds of connections and calling and arranging, a week later they let him get on a flight. And now the talk was that as soon as he comes back to Israel, they recruit him to the army. So what is he going to do? He said, I'm going to jail. I'm not going to agree to go. So he's enjoying now Shabbat with all the community, knowing in a few days he's going back to Israel, probably will go to their jail. Why? To learn Torah, for them it's a crime. That's what's going on right now. So, today we're going to do another session of questions and answers. Be'ezrat Hashem. There's all kinds of interesting questions that are relevant to our life. So, we will see Be'ezrat Hashem how it goes. If people would continue to give good comments, maybe we'll make it a series. I also already made one series, common questions and answers, which was very good. People liked it very much. Let's hope this one will also be good. So, first question, we know that there is a restriction to look at a lady that dressed not modest. Even for 2 or 3 seconds, it's already a sin. If it happens, if a person walks in the street and something by surprise catches his eyes, the first second, it's not a sin. But if he continues to stare, the sin begins. And it's a sin that goes every second. 1, 2, 3. It's one long sin. The longer, the worse it gets. If a person closes his eyes or take off his glasses that he cannot see or turn the head, not only it's not a sin, he gets a huge reward for it. This is, by the way, will be the time to request from Hashem something that you really need. Because when a person passes the hard test, Mishamayim, Hashem has more sympathy towards him. So, if that's the case, and you're not allowed to look at not modest girls, how there is any permission to go to university, which is men and women, boys and girls, and the secular girls there in university are very far from being modest. Some of them are Jewish, some of them are not Jewish. So the question is it allowed to sit in a class 4 or 5 years? When you walk in the hallways, everywhere you go, it's naked people? Allowed or not allowed? So the judgment, the law of university is exactly the same law of walking on the street. To walk on the street, it's allowed or not allowed? Allowed. You have to be strong. What happens if you fail? Eliminate walking on the street as much as you can. But if you have to walk somewhere, and you fail, you have to do tshuva, like every other sin. You have to do tshuva and move on. What about a picture of a woman on social media or in an album, like wedding? Sometimes they have wedding pictures. You look at families, you see women in the pictures. Allowed to look at women in pictures or no? The answer is not allowed. Just like you're not allowed to look at clothing of women hanging on the rope. Today you have dryers. But until 20 years ago, at least in Israel, people would hang the clothes outside in the terrace. So the neighbors can see, and they can see all kinds of clothes of women. It's also not allowed. The Gemara says not allowed because it can bring a man all kinds of thoughts. What about family albums of weddings? If that's the case, no man would be able to ever look at it, because it's always going to be women. The answer is you have to make an album for men and an album for women. In one album you put pictures of women, it's for women, and one album you put pictures of men, it's for the men. I know you're laughing because probably nobody does it, or maybe the Hasidim do it, I don't know. But that's really... Huh?
Is the Kala not allowed to be in a men's album?
It's a big problem to look at the Kala. She's a woman. She's not an angel. She's still a woman.
What is family?
Big problem. The Torah does not give permission to look at women that are not...
Huh? What if you look at your family?
No, your family you're allowed to look. You can look at your daughter, your grandmother, your mother, your sister.
There's more people in the picture.
Yeah, if more people...
Okay.
Yeah, best not to look at albums. Why do you need to look at someone's wedding's album and to see all the not modest women there? In every wedding, there's always going to be some ladies that are not modest, even if it's a very religious wedding. There's always relatives that are not so religious or very modern. You know, I one time went to a wedding of a Baalei Tshuva of mine, and they made mixed seating. Not mixed dancing, of course. Dancing was kosher. Mixed seating. They counted on the psak of Rav Moshe Feinstein that allow it, Bishat Adchak, if it's going to create fights in the family. Thinking when you go to a kosher restaurant, you also have mixed seating. A man and his wife sitting here, another man and his wife sitting here, a bunch of girls sitting here, a bunch of guys sitting here. It's more or less the same idea. But that's when I realized that it's completely not the same. Why? Because in a wedding, you have round tables. And if you want to go somewhere, you have to go in between the tables. You have either going from the right or from the left. And when you have a wedding of 500 people, when half of them are not religious, people from the business, even some of them are not Jewish. So there will be maybe 200 not modest women walking around. So anywhere you want to go to the dance floor of the men, you have to go through the tables. It was a disaster. I said, B'li neder b'ezrat Hashem, never to go to a mixed seating, only to a complete separate seating and separate dancing, which is a disaster. It's mamash a disaster. In my class, the teacher wants to show us a not modest movie, like documentary, but you see there are women that are not modest. If I leave the room, the teacher will get insulted. What should I do? What should I do? Should I stay and watch it, not to insult the teacher? Should I stay and close my eyes the entire hour? Should I get up and leave?
Who else is watching? Who else is watching?
The class. It's someone that is religious in probably a public school. He asked the question. So, you know, it's they're showing him a film that is not modest. The answer is to go out wisely, like pretend you have to go to the bathroom or something like that.
What if they're going to fail you?
A woman who wants to go scuba diving, and the special outfit they wear, it's not modest. Diving, but when you come out, it's like wearing a tight pants. Is she allowed to do, religious woman? Let's see, she's a Baalat Tshuva. She wants to go to Eilat or Florida to see some nice fish, to enjoy the wonders of the creation. That she should thank Hashem extra. She should thank Hashem extra for the beautiful, amazing creation. Allowed or not allowed? Only if it's a place with women only. If there are men around, not allowed. Is a person allowed to listen to a woman singing?
No.
If you don't know who it is.
Huh?
If you don't know who it is.
Only if you don't know how she looks, you never saw her, and you don't know what to imagine. You hear a voice of some lady, but you don't have an image. If once in your life you saw how she looks, every time you hear this voice, you will start to think about her. So that will not be permitted. A woman wants to make music for ladies only, but she wants to be a rapperite.
A rapper?
A rapper, hip-hop. Jumping like a monkey, left and right. If you can call it music. In my opinion, it's garbage, but in some opinions, I guess it's music. It's a matter of taste. So she wants to sing, but to ladies only. Allowed or not allowed?
It depends on the content, I think.
Talking kosher words.
Okay.
Kosher words.
Kosher words like a monkey? I don't know how that's going to work.
The jumping is like a monkey. the words is how she became religious while she's moving her head. You know, you're right, it looks like a very big contradiction. So the answer is, it's very not recommended to sing this kind of music. It's very, very not Jewish music. But if there's no man around for sure, she's allowed. What's worse? To hear a religious woman singing or to hear a secular man singing? To listen to Eyal Golan or to listen to some religious woman in Israel that she usually sing only to ladies? Both are very bad. Sometimes people ask question, what's worse? You know, this question is very, very common. What's worse, to commit a sin with a Goya or to commit a sin with a Jewish single girl?
A Goya.
Why commit a sin at all? Don't commit a sin at all. That's the best.
That's always the best answer, not to commit anything. But we need to know for someone who committed a sin, which one of the two committed a worse sin. One was with Christina and one was with Miri, the Chilonit from Tel Aviv. Which one of the two is worse?
Mary, because
When a man was with a not Jewish woman, committed a sin, does he get a punishment of karet? Is this a karet in the Torah or no? No karet. No karet. If he was with a Jewish woman, whether she's his girlfriend or whether she's his wife, and she is nida, she didn't go to the mikveh, that's isur karet for him and for her. So on this, the punishment is a lot worse. To be with a Jewish single girl, or his wife even, it's much, much bigger punishment than to be with a non-Jewish woman. To be with a non-Jewish woman, it's a sin from the Torah, like you eat pork. That's a sin from the Torah. That's a sin from the Torah. You eat shrimps, it's a sin from the Torah. But, according to Kabbalah, which is the mystical part of Judaism, the Kabbalah speaks the worst thing you can think about, that sin, to be with a non-Jewish woman. And as you can see in the Torah, Yosef, Eshet Potiphar, did everything she can to seduce him, and he did everything he can to run away from her. And Rashi writes there, he didn't want to be with her intimately here, because then she would be tied to him in the next world, which will be supposedly a very big embarrassment. So according to Kabbalah, it's a huge sin. According to the ruling of the Torah, to be with a single Jew that is nida, or with his own wife that she's nida, is much bigger sin and much bigger punishment. They both get cut permanently. Now comes the next question. What happened if this Chilonit went to the mikveh? She did go to the mikveh. She's not his wife. So it's a sin from the Torah because it's not his wife. But she went to the mikveh. Then what? There's no karet now. So that's a sin from the Torah, and that's a sin from the Torah. Which one of the two is now worse? Kind of equal. Because you have a sin from the Torah here, and there's no karet in both cases. But according to Kabbalah, it's still much worse than with the Goya. Okay, so we get the point here. A person that changed his sex, a man became a woman, or a woman became a man. How do we have to treat them? You come to the synagogue, you see in the ladies section someone who used to be a man. Comes with his makeup. Hi ladies, good Shabbos. You say to yourself, wow, the man here in the ladies section.
With respect.
Or the other way around. He was a woman that became a man. There's anything like that? Usually it's the other way around, right? Any woman became a man?
Oh, yeah.
Do you heard about cases like this?
Of course.
So I never heard of it. I mean,
You gotta treat people with respect no matter what. Everybody has respect in this world.
not necessarily.
Whatever they do. It's all wrong.
If Nasrallah would come to your restaurant,
Don't condemn them
you treat him with respect?
with respect.
Nasrallah.
Like a human being.
What about Hitler?
That's right.
Hitler, you treat him with respect?
Well,
What about Bernie Sanders? You treat him with respect? Or George Soros, or Hussein Obama, or the chameleon,
the community.
or Bennett? Huh? I think you should think again who you should give respect to and who not. I'm not saying you have to start making problems. Wait. I'm not saying you have to start a fight. Wait. I'm not saying you have to start fights with them, but to give them respect. Let's not get carried away. So now,
Human beings.
So how do you have to treat? How do you have to treat someone that is a man or became woman, a woman became a man? You have to treat them like both. Sometimes you have to treat them like it's a man. Sometimes you have to treat them like it's a woman. Depend on the scenario.
Isn't it disrespect if they're in the shul and should be kicked?
It is. In my shul, they wouldn't come. Now tell them, listen, you're offending a lot of people here. I have to look at the majority of the interest of the people here. To satisfy one person and make 300 people upset, that's not the goal of a synagogue. If no one was upset, okay, it's one thing. But if people get upset with that...
Can I ask you one question, sir?
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic, so that means I'm on.
No, that's something else. You have a problem, it should be treated.
I'm condemned.
No. We talk...
Everybody got problems with those.
Tov, I'm sorry. You have to keep it quiet. Shh, okay. Enough. So now, until what age you allowed to touch a girl? Your cousin, your niece. A touch of love, like hugging, kissing, up to age 3. What if you want to hold her hand on the street, that she doesn't run to the street, or you want to help her cross the street, or to help her get on a bus, or you need to help her to push her to get on a bus, the bus is a little bit high, she's 4, 5, what about that? The answer is, touching with no empathy or love or like hugging and kissing, up to 6, 7. Because that's already an age that she's clever and she understands and she thinks like a regular human being. Up to age 6, the Ben Ish Chai say, people have a status of a monkey. Meaning in their mentality, they will do things that monkeys do. Jump, making faces, doing silly things. But once you get older than 6, usually you're more mature not to do stupid things in public. Our goyim, non-Jews, Gentiles, have to be shomer negiah. Chris is going on a date with Christina. They met now in a bar. They're going to sit with 2 bottles of beer, and he wants to hold her hand. Allowed or not allowed? Not only that, he's allowed to go with her and be intimate right away. No problem. They have no limitations, almost. They can live together as long as they're together. They're faithful to each other. Once they don't like each other, it was nice meeting you, they separate. An hour later, she can meet a new guy and he can meet a new girl, there's no problem. Goyim don't need to get married and they don't need to get divorced. Their marriage is mutual consent to be intimate together. They can have kids, the kids are legitimate, they have no problem. So from here we see that it's a lot easier for them. A woman that is not Jewish doesn't have to go to the mikveh, she doesn't have to keep nidah. They can be together anytime they want. There's no restriction. Religious magazines, newspapers. What today people buy here in Flatbush or anywhere else. They have pictures of women in there. Wigs, vacation, real estate women in their advertisement. I'm afraid to bring them into the house that my husband and my sons won't look into the magazine and see these pictures. What should I do? The answer, not to bring this magazine into the house. What if they'll take out all the pictures of the ladies, cut them out, and they leave the magazine after the wife saw what she saw? She cut with a marker, she go over the pictures, and she wants to put this magazine in a house. The answer is also not allowed. For the contents of those magazines, they bring a lot of heretics to write a weekly column. They admire all kinds of wicked people. Someone just told me that a few months ago they admire one very big businessman, somebody very famous in a community, and now the government is all over him. He's destroyed. He's going to go to jail, he's going to pay millions of dollars in fine. The article, they made him like the hero of the community. And now, because they made him so famous, the Chilul Hashem now that comes out of this is 100 times worse. Because before that article, how many people knew him? 1,000? Now 50,000 people know him, or 100,000. So they bring all kinds of people, and a lot of bad can come out of these newspapers, unfortunately. And also, you have to know that in newspapers, not always you're going to find the right Jewish hashkafa. Because the people that writes over there, or the editors, not all of them are Bnei Torah. And they don't have a supervisor. You know, one very famous lady here from the Syrian community, everybody knows her. She one time sent me an email. She told me, after I heard your lecture against these magazines, I called one of them and asked them which hashgacha you have. Who is the supervisor who watch what you publish? She wrote over there, they got very angry at her for asking such a question. Why? It's a perfectly legitimate question. You need to have a rabbi that supervises what goes into a religious magazine. What's worse? Not to have a supervisor on the food you eat, or not to have the supervisor on the things you read? Which one of the two is worse? Usually what you read makes you more damage than what you eat. It's true, if you're going to eat non-kosher meat, it's a disaster. It makes a very big damage to the soul. If you eat lettuce that was not checked and have so many worms and bugs, that's a disaster. But if you read heresy, that can make you a permanent damage for the rest of your life. From now on, how you look at Chachamim, how you disrespect the Torah, how you have now open mind. You know how sometimes girls write in their shidduch resume, I'm looking for a boy that is open-minded. Do you know what it means, open-minded? A kofer. Kofer, an admirer of Santa. That's what she's looking for. What does it mean, open-minded? Meaning the mind is open to all garbage that wants to come in. That's what it means, open-minded. Open-minded. Or like they say in America, I want to have fun. Usually it's to commit sins. You know, that's what it means. So, a singer with a yarmulke on his head that sometimes sings duets with women. Believe it or not, there are some like this, in Israel at least. He has a yarmulke and he goes on a show and sings with a singer woman. Allowed to listen to his music or not? No. Yes. If he sings with women, it means he's not religious. He's partially religious, but he's not fully religious. I'm a woman singer. I want to put my music on YouTube with a warning in the beginning that it's for women only. Can I do it? What would happen if a Jewish woman will put her video on YouTube and in the first, or in the title, it would say, singing for ladies only? What would happen? In general, it should have 50 women that would listen to her music. Now there are 50,000 men who actually listen to her. Because, one person once told me, you want your book to sell 10 times more than what it normally sells in a bookstore? You have to put something there that is so controversial that the big rabbis will put you on a ban. Once the message on the street will be, did you hear? The big rabbi this, big rabbi that bedding, they put him on a ban. All the people run out of curiosity to see what is the reason they put him on a ban. And he sell 10 times more books. Yeah, you may make some money, but you lose your olam haba. It's not such a simple advice.
What about AI singers now?
Oh, now, that was one of the questions. They make a fake woman, AI. It's very hard to tell today. It's some kind of an image that they invented. Also not allowed. When you see a woman in your brain, do you understand it's AI? No. See a pretty girl singing, moving, that triggers the mind.
AI singing.
Huh?
AI singing.
Doesn't matter, it sounds like a voice of a woman. It triggers the centers in the brain of the man.
There's no face.
If there's no face, even if it's a real woman, it's allowed. Because you never know, you don't know who she is, you don't know what to imagine. It's like you hear on the ways a woman talks. That doesn't trigger anything. Right? If the ways would speak with melody, drive 10 miles and get off exit 9, wouldn't make anybody trigger? No. Why? Because it doesn't have an image. But if it would be a famous women singer in a GPS, singing to him, drive 10 miles, right away, thinks about her. Okay, so we know now the formula. Once you know the formula, in every case in your mind, you know what's right and what's wrong. I'm a piano man playing classical music. How can I do it for the sake of heaven? Plays piano. You can play in events like seminars, like, Sheva Brachot. If you can play music and make people happy, as long as it's kosher, why not? A girl wants to go spend Shabbat with her friend from yeshiva, from seminary, but she lives with her father because the mother died. So the father is raising his own family. So he has one girl, she's in seminary, she wants to bring one of her friends to stay over for Shabbos. But there is a father that is not married there. Allowed or not allowed?
No, the girls are shomeret. Doesn't matter.
Allowed.
They stay together.
Allowed because that's a father and daughter and yichud benehem. If a man goes with two women in a closed room, that's yichud. Two women don't guard. But if it's a woman and her father there, then it's no problem. My friend ordered a not kosher book, not modest. I would like to throw it to the garbage before he finds out the delivery arrived. You have to pay him back? If someone was about to eat pork, he didn't know it's pork, he thought it's glad kosher, and I knocked it out of his mouth and it fell on the sand. I have to pay him for this burger? He said, it cost me $20. I said, yeah, but you thought you went to the kosher store, you went to the next door, which is not kosher. I just saved you from committing a sin. So okay, but you still have to give me the $20 for the burger. He has to or no? Of course not. So now this question is debatable. Depends who you ask. If you ask a very strict rabbi, Haredi, he will tell you absolutely, throw it to the garbage, you don't have to pay him, nothing. If you ask a more modern rabbi, he will tell you you're not allowed to throw it, but you have to do everything you can to convince him not to get it. Why are you ordering it? It's not good? Okay. There is a Gemara in Masechet Brachot, page 20, that Rav Ada Bar Ahava saw a lady that wear a red, not modest clothes. And he went and ripped it from her. Ripped it. That she should not walk in the street with such bright colors. And then she sued him for the clothes. And they just found out she's not Jewish. And he had to pay her for the damage of the clothes because she was a Goya. Meaning if she was Jewish, he didn't have to pay her for the clothes. But is this the right way to attack people on the street? But this is an Amorah. It's 1700 years ago. This is in a Gemara. Today, if you do such thing, you're going to end up and get arrested. Right? You get arrested. But back then it was so obvious. How would a woman dare to walk like this on the street and make everybody commit sins because of her?
I think it's bad.
Is there any way to control your thoughts? To have full control of your thoughts?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
It depends how strong.
The bad thoughts that come to our mind.
Yes or her.
Go do this, go do that, try to do this, try to do that.
The evil inclination.
Who gives us these bad thoughts?
The evil inclination.
Exposure.
What happens if it's a good thought? I want to go help this Bachur Yeshiva, I want to pay his debt, I want to pay his electric
The
bill.
good inclination.
Mom,
So,
That's her tone.
yeah, so what in a case like this, how do we know that Hashem expects us to control our thoughts? How do we know? Because the Torah says you're not allowed to think about idols or arayot, not modest ladies. And the Torah demand not to violate the rules of bad thoughts. לא תצורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. It means it's possible. How do you do it? You make your mind busy all the time with Torah. The more Torah you have in your head, the less bad things comes in. That's what the Rambam writes. There is any way, any good advice how to win against the evil inclination? Sgula. There is a story that they asked the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidut, about one individual, if he's a real tzaddik or a con artist. So the answer of the Baal Shem Tov was, go ask him, how do you overcome the evil inclination? If he will give you some magic answer, sgula, like an amulet, or some advice that is, like a trick, then he's a con artist. If he will tell you have to learn a lot of Torah and a lot of Musar in order for you to win against the Yetzer Hara, then he's real. Meaning there's no shortcuts. You want to fight the Yetzer Hara, you have to work very hard with Torah and Musar. I'm a single guy and I have a very strong Yetzer Hara. Meaning, for girls, what should I do? Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, attacks everyone. Everyone blame his status, that it happens because of that. The single guy, because I'm single. The married, because he's married. The hard-working person, because I work so hard. The avrech is because I'm learning all the time. It happens. The rich, the poor. Everybody will find a different reason why it attacks him. Nobody is immune from the Yetzer Hara. Married, single, rich, poor, smart, stupid. Everybody gets attacked. So what's the solution? Torah, Musar, Yirat Shamayim. A person that does not have desires, could it be a mental problem?
Yes, absolutely.
Person doesn't have any desire. Not for food, not for women, not for money, not for clothes, not for anything. Do you desire anything, sir? Nothing. Nothing. No cigarettes, no drugs, no alcohol, no women, no jewelry, no sport. Nothing, nothing whatsoever. What is it?
Depression, hormones, depression. It's a missing relationship with God.
That could be very much mental issue. Person has mental issues, it affects his health condition. Because usually every person who's reincarnated in the world comes with weaknesses and desires and attraction for certain negative things. One is for ego, one is angry, one is jealous, one is materialistic, one is running after food, one is ladies, one is sport. Some people have all of it, everything. But otherwise you wouldn't come to the world. A person that made an operation and changed his sex, what should be his status according to the halakha? We're not talking now in a shul or in a bathroom. Halakha-wise, meaning does he have to still put tefillin? He looks like a woman. Does he still have to put tefillin?
No.
Does he still have to learn Torah like a man? Just because he calls himself the name of a woman. What's your name? Susan. Your name was Abe. Abe is your father. I am Susan. But he knows him as Abe. Abe. Abe has to sit and learn Torah, or because he decided to become a woman, now he has mitzvot of a woman only.
Then he's a woman.
No.
He's a man.
If you got the operation, he's a woman.
The answer is, he is obligated to keep all the mitzvot as he was naturally. So if he was a woman, still all the laws that applies to a woman. However, you also go strict with him to the opposite side as well. For instance, until now when he was a man, if a man looked at him, it wasn't a sin. Now when he made himself a lady, with all the surgeries, it became restricted for a man to look at him. So you see now it's strict from both sides. In one hand we look at you like you're a woman. On the other hand we look at you like you used to be a man. Therefore you still have to put tefillin and you're going to be punished for not putting tefillin. Yes, because just because you decided to be a woman doesn't mean God is agreeing with that. It's very sad. Huh?
Arasayin?
Marisayin, you have to look at it like a lady.
I'm saying, could he do it in public, or he has to like put on tefillin?
Yeah, can do it in public, because Maritain is not, if you twist the reality, but it's according to the Torah, if nothing is wrong, it's not Maritain. Today, everything, people scream, Chilul Hashem, Chilul Hashem. If religious people would stand in the street of Jerusalem and scream, Shabbat, you're not allowed to drive a car, right away there will be rabbis that say, we should have not did this Chilul Hashem. But according to the Torah, they have to protest. Okay, so, okay. My sister married another woman, and we didn't go to the wedding. It's a religious family. She went off the derech, this girl. She's very angry. Do I have to apologize to her or no? For not going?
No. Why not?
The answer is no. She has to do tshuva, cut the sin, and she has to apologize for the Chilul Hashem she did. Sometimes things get the other way. The criminal asking for apology from the cop. It should be the other way around. The cop had to run, chase him, to catch him and put handcuffs on him, and got injured sometimes. And then the thief has to say, you have to apologize to me, you're hurting me with the handcuffs. Things sometimes lose detach from reality. Are we allowed to buy an apartment that is repossessed from their owner that couldn't pay the mortgage? The bank took away the house. He had a Jew, couldn't pay his mortgage. He got fired, 1 year it didn't work, he was behind, the bank took the house. The bank put the house for sale in an auction. This house is the blood of a Jewish family. They put down payment, they renovated, they painted, they broke walls, they installed marbles, you know how it is. They made the garden. Now they're losing the house. Why? They couldn't pay for a year the payment. Are we allowed to buy it or no?
No.
The answer is, we're allowed to buy it. But it's not recommended. You don't want to benefit in life from the suffering of other people, even though they brought the suffering on themselves. But still, why should I benefit from it? Why are we allowed to buy it? Because they signed in the papers that if they won't pay the bank will get their house. They agree to the term. Nobody is doing to them something that they were not aware of that it's possible to happen. You have to think a million times before you commit to take such a big loan. I went to a restaurant, the waitress or waiter gave me a bad service. Do I still have to give tip?
No, because it's not sloka. So it's not an obligation.
Yes.
Okay, now let's think. For the opinion that you have to give a tip, and for the opinion you don't have to give a tip, let's try to analyze it. If those who say you don't have to give a tip, they say, what did I get from you? A torture. You made me wait half an hour, you brought me a cold soup, you brought me the food before the soup, you brought first the meal, then the appetizer. I asked you for a bottle of beer, make sure it's cold, you give me a warm one. Everything went wrong. I asked you to lower the heat, you made it even more hot. It wasn't my day with you. Now I have to give you 20%? It's an expensive table. 4 people on a table, the bill is $400. 20% is $80. The way they torture you the entire 2 hours, now you have to give him $80. It's not fair.
It actually is 15%.
The other opinion is,
For bad service.
you still have to give a tip, because it's Chilul Hashem if you don't give.
No, because it's not tzedakah. But if they do a bad job, then they shouldn't be rewarded for it.
Respect.
But they didn't expect you.
It's their credit.
They made you wait.
The answer, you have to give something. You don't have to give a lot, like someone who did a good job, but something you have to give.
Like $1.
I bought a CD. This was written when CDs were still very popular. I think the only one who still makes CDs is me. I'm still primitive somewhat. But in the days that people used to buy CDs for music, I bought a CD of a singer and it got scratched. I cannot listen to it. Can I download it from the internet for free or no? Even though it says all rights reserved, not allowed to copy.
Free, yes.
Since you already bought a CD, you bought it, and now you want to download it without permission, because on the internet they say not allowed to be copied. FBI warning. You know how they put all rights are reserved?
Then no.
Allowed or not allowed?
Allowed, because you paid for it already.
Allowed because you paid for it and the product got damaged.
Wow.
And they didn't lose any money. What would happen if it would be a product? You order a product online, you got it, after a day or two you broke it, your negligence, and you want them to send you a new one because you're not happy how the product broke in 2 days. Allowed or not allowed?
Wow, they have warranty.
Just download it on the
It's
internet.
your fault. What if it's a 30-day no question asked?
You just said we can download it on the internet.
That means something else now.
Now we're talking about a product. You went to Walmart or Costco and you bought something and you broke it. You spilled tea on a laptop.
So file.
You spilled tea on a laptop and the laptop is, finished, and you want to send it and say, hey, you gave me a bad laptop. Maze, 1 week and it's already not working. I want a new one. There is a 1-year warranty.
Yeah.
Allowed or not?
Yes.
Not allowed.
No?
In a warranty it said that you only get it if you did not do anything wrong. But if you drove over it with your car and broke it, you want the company to send you a new laptop? Is it allowed to order to take a gown from a store, wear it for the wedding, and return it the next day?
If you get it dry cleaned, what do you mean?
Would you like to buy a suit from a store that someone else wore it and took it to dry clean after that? And pay a full price for it?
But the store won't put it back in the rack. They would put it somewhere else if you.
Of course they'll put it back. They see that it's not damaged, they'll put it back. Someone with eczema just wore it, and now you bought it.
But they won't put it back. They would put it in they would send it back.
Even if they send it back to the manufacturer or to the company who made that suit,
They have to.
somebody has to lose from you using it. Question is allowed or not allowed? The answer is not allowed. But the question is, what about stores, like she asked, that write in their policy, 30 days back, money guarantee, no questions asked?
It's allowed.
We won't ask you why you're returning it. It's your fault, our fault. We're not asking. You're not happy, bring it back. In a case like this, allowed or not allowed? Also not allowed. Why not allowed? Because when they say money back guarantee, no question asked, they mean you intended to buy the product. You intended to buy the product. You took it and you changed your mind. You don't like it. It's not fitting you 100%. You don't like the color. Maybe it's too tight. Maybe it's too wide. Maybe people gave you bad compliments. Not compliments, bad comments. So if that's the case, things have changed. But at the time when you purchase it, you had intention to buy it? If yes, then no question asked. You can return it for any reason.
Yeah, well,
But if in the beginning you came there and you did not have any intention to buy it, just to borrow it, wear it in the night and return it the next day, then it's ona'ah, deceiving.
what if you're poor and you can afford it?
If you're poor, it's not allow you to rob a bank. If you're poor, you stand on the street and tell people, I'm poor, help me out. And everyone will give you a few dollars until you have money. Jewish people are merciful. You stand by the shul,
And you want to make your daughter happy for a wedding, what do you do?
you collect tzedakah. People that are poor, they come and they collect charity. It's not a shame. It's not a shame to be a thief, but it's a shame to be a thief. It's not a shame to be poor. It's a shame to be a criminal. So people have to know, I'm poor, but I'm not ashamed of it. That's what Hashem wanted. For me to struggle financially. But to be a criminal, that's really shameful. Now, I am getting paid by the hour. Am I allowed to work slow to drag the job to have more hours than what I can really finish the job?
No, it's guessing.
Yeah.
Steal it.
No, not if you're like doing,
What if it's not achieved?
not if you need overtime.
The obligation,
You're working hard, yeah.
the obligation is when you do a job for someone, you are hired to do it in the most sufficient, effective way. Just like you would do it for yourself. Like Yaakov said to Lavan, 20 years I worked for you with all my heart. Meaning there was no cheating, no negligence, no laziness, none of that things. Am I allowed to work in a catering hall that have sometimes kosher weddings and sometimes not kosher wedding? One night Chilonim, one night Goim, one night Haredim.
No.
They want me to work there.
Separate
If
kid.
there's mezuzah,
Huh?
You just work? Okay.
What the mezuzah has to do with the job? No, there is mezuzah. The owner of the place is Jewish. But now Chris and Christina are getting married in a catering hall.
You're working for the kid.
And they want you to walk there. You walk outside, valet parking. You park the cars. Allowed or not allowed? Why not?
How they parking then?
Why not?
See, no money.
You can walk. If you have to serve non-kosher food, then you're not allowed to walk. Why? Because there will be secular Jews there. You're not allowed to serve on the plate food that a Jew is not allowed to eat. But if you are security, valet parking, people check their coats, things like that, you're allowed to work. Depend on the job, obviously.
What if it's a wedding of a Jew and a non-Jew?
Huh?
What if it's a wedding of a Jew and a non-Jew in the same location?
You're not working for the wedding. You're working for the hall. Outside. You're not servicing the Jew and the non-Jew. You're not anything to do with that. We have a law in the Torah that you have to pay the daily salary to the worker on time. Okay? What happens if you send him a wire? Let's say Venmo. The worker is in the house, he finished the job 6 p.m. He said, okay, it's $1,000. You work 4 hours in your job. You tell him, what's your Venmo? He gives you the Venmo, you send it to him, he'll only get it tomorrow. Did you break the law of the Torah or no?
No.
You had to pay him today. Now you give him a payment for tomorrow. Be'yomot iten scharo, the Torah says.
But if he accepts it.
but the new day starts at sunset, so it's technically tomorrow in the Jewish tradition.
Isn't that
First we have to ask, when you give someone a check, when is considered the time of the payment? When you handed him the check or when the check cleared?
When the check clears.
When you have the check. You can cash it in the grocery store.
The check, the status of a check, it's a payment or it's an order to give a payment?
It's a negotiable.
Is this a check considered cash or no? Why I'm giving you this answer? Can you take a check that someone just gave you for $500 and go to the supermarket and give it to them and say, give me groceries? In some places you can do it. In Israel you can do it. Even here in America you can do it. Some places they'll take checks.
The majority of the lists don't do that. It depends who gave it to you.
Let me teach you something, Benji, that you should know. Banks, until 15, 20 years ago, used to get third-party checks up to $1,000. Reuven gave Shimon a check, Shimon signed in the back and transfer it to Yosef. Yosef can go and deposit the check in his account because the person that got the check originally signed in the back. Then I guess there was too much fraud and banks stopped to take third-party checks. They stopped. However, if you are a huge supermarket who makes $1 million a week business and the bank will never jeopardize their relationship with you, meaning they don't want to lose such a shark, is equal to 500 other businesses. $1 million a week business, a huge supermarket, 25 aisles, size of a soccer field. So much transaction every day, $150,000 a day, they deposit. So if they get a check from a customer that someone gave it to him and it's named to that person, meaning the supermarket, let's call them XYZ supermarket, and someone gave them a check made out to Moshe Cohen. When they put it in a bank, the bank will not dare to make a beep. $50 check. They're not going to want to lose the relationship with such a customer.
Also with the pictures now, no one's checking.
With the pictures, no one is checking. But it's just a matter of time until the liberals will do something about it. Remember, everything in the world that is too good to be true, that means the liberals didn't realize yet. Remember this. Because the liberals can never sleep at night when someone enjoy life.
Liberals? I'm a liberal.
The liberals,
I'm a liberal.
the liberals, the lefty, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, these kind of people. You know, they're very angry at Trump for taking over Venezuela, and already today they announced that they will send United States millions of barrels of oil for a very good price, probably 20 cents on a dollar. Trump is a very good businessman. He's gonna now get billions of dollars out of Venezuela. This money used to go to China, now it will come to us. But the liberals
Why are you waiting?
are going crazy. The liberals are going crazy. Why? It was illegal to take Maduro.
It's a business world.
It's illegal. Shh. Next. Shh. Okay. Now, צער בעלי חיים, נחש ארסי. בנג'י. No. When a person see a poisonous snake, what is he allowed to do? You have a poisonous snake. What are you allowed to do?
Run.
Run. It's not always a good. Run is not always a good. Run is not always a good idea, because I tell you why. Because some of these snakes are so fast they can catch you. Also, you don't want to run from a bear. They run very fast. Needless to say, a lion or a cheetah, those fast animals, or a dog. Anyway, Rabotai, when you see a poisonous snake, it's mitzvah to kill him, if you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you lock yourself in a room until the professional person will come and do something about it. Yes. The Gemara say, a poisonous snake you're allowed to kill. Other snakes you're not allowed to kill if they're not a life risk. But how am I supposed to know? I see a snake, do I know if he's poisonous or not? Because there is a doubt and life risk exists, pikuach nefesh, you're allowed to kill him. Now, my teacher told me not to feed the cats on the street. You know, Israel full of cats on the street. Not to give the cats food. Why? Because it's not good for nature. Because when the cats are hungry, they eat all kinds of damaging animals, like rats, that cause all kinds of problems. They eat snakes and they eat rats. If you have too many rats and too many snakes, it becomes a hazard. So the cats are doing us a favor. You know, the Christians hate cats. Do you know? You heard about it or no? Remember the black...
Bubonic plague, yeah.
Huh?
Bubonic plague, yeah.
When was that plague?
During the Middle Ages.
1300, something like that? So the Christian, because they hating the cats, they were killing the cats. And then millions of rats and mice came and caused the plague. So you see, every species in nature has a purpose. If you don't like one of them, you want to exterminate them, you will make your life very dangerous after that. Is it permitted to raise a dangerous animal?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What if they're doing it for profit?
The tameh.
Like an alligator?
No, it could kill you or someone.
The answer is if you take all the precaution and it's in a safe cage and stuff like that, it's permitted but very not recommended. Why would a Jew wants to be a servant of an animal? What about a poisonous snake inside a closed aquarium? Even though it's a cursed animal in the Torah. Allowed or no?
No.
Very not recommended. Now, what about an animal like a lobster that eats, is very cruel to other animals. You have to feed him with other animals. So you have to throw the animals into the aquarium and you see how the snake eat the rat. And the question like this, are you allowed to participate in such cruelty? Because you have a snake in an aquarium, you have to throw him rats, and you see how it choke the rat, and you swallow him, and you see how the rat is suffering, and you are the one who serve him his prey.
No, you can't.
Allowed or not allowed?
No.
Not allowed.
The answer is it's allowed because that's what Hashem did. Hashem made the world like that. That they eat each other, all these animals, and there is a purpose for it. Animal cruelty to each other, it's not a crime.
Yeah,
If a lion eats the zebra, you think, wow, what a cruel lion? No. That's the way Hashem made the world. The only cruel animals in the world are people.
but you talk about the cats.
Now,
It's allowed now. מה שקורה? Birds, they speak.
am I allowed to reserve a parking spot on the street until my husband will go around the block?
Yes.
Someone comes with a car. Hey, move! My husband is coming. I'm here first.
The car is not there, so
According to the Torah. Allowed or not allowed?
not.
You could try.
Just say it's allowed to catch.
The answer is Ishto kegufo. If his wife is there, it's like he is there.
Oh.
Meaning, if it's a friend, it won't be allowed. Someone else is here and he has position on the spot.
What if it's your teacher?
Huh?
What if it's your teacher?
You know what would happen in Israel if you do such thing? You know the words Itgadal Vitkadash Merabah?
For them or for me?
You know, my son Yaakov, he went to eat something with his wife, and the parking, he parked, and there was one Israeli guy coming from far, aiming to that parking spot. When he saw an American, polite, Bachor Yeshiva, black hat, two Americans, the guy got up. Hey! You know, get your car out! You know, he screamed in Hebrew, Maher totzi et haauto! My son didn't understand what does he want. He picked up already a rock. 3 seconds or I break your glass. Israel. What can you? By the way, it can happen here. It can happen here. You have people like this here. So, someone stole a donkey from a Bedouin Arab.
It's not kosher, for sure.
Can I use that donkey?
No.
You stole it.
The answer, you have to return it to the Bedouin. You don't know where he is. It's not your obligation to go and investigate where he is, but you cannot take it. It's stolen. Am I allowed to take a tea bag from a wedding? When they serve, they bring the dessert, they bring all kinds of nice tea, you know, orange tea, this tea, that tea.
Yeah.
You want to take 1 or 2 bags, put in the pocket, and when you get home,
Yes, you can.
you will drink, you make yourself tea, which you don't have such good tea in the house. So you took few tea bags. Allowed or not allowed?
Allowed.
No.
It's a party favor. Like, you can't, there's not everybody there.
The caterer that serves this, allow people to take things home, or they prefer that whatever left, they'll take it and use it in the next event?
Yes,
They don't mind.
they mind.
They're carrying,
The tea bags belong to whom?
but they already got paid from the wedding host.
Not for you to.
Thousands of dollars.
If they got paid, that means it belongs to the Chatan and Kala.
Are you allowed?
The Chatan and Kala will take it home, all the leftover, or they throw it to the garbage?
They'll give it to the guests. The guests would love it to have.
They
It's
give
a
it.
pleasure.
There's no
It's
question.
a party favor.
There's no question that you can make yourself tea and take it with you to the car.
But if they offer it to you,
No, now it's on the table.
yeah, all
You
right.
have cakes, cookies, you want to take some in a plate and eat on the way home.
You're not allowed.
Allowed or not?
You're not allowed.
Because you're using it that day.
You're not allowed. I know, you're not allowed.
I mean, always your wife tells you to give something home.
I hide when.
Like a few tea bags cost $1,000. There's only a few bags and it's not a problem.
You're not allowed.
Wow, these guys are fire, full of fire. So if I knew you're coming, I would make a different lectures. Parashat HaShavua. Questions and answers is not for you guys. So the answer is, every food you can eat over there and will go to the garbage if you won't eat it, like you have fish, this, that, in the end they're going to throw it, they're not going to serve it tomorrow. It's either now or tomorrow, it's going to go to the garbage by tomorrow. Then of course you can take it. Food that will remain, such as whiskey bottles, beer bottles, wine bottles, the Chatan and Kala will take it home. They use it in the Sheva Brachot. You're not allowed to take it home. Only things that you have permission right now to eat and to use, you can use it there, no problem. Things that will go to the garbage, you can take home. Things that will be reused, whether it's by the caterer or by the Chatan and Kala, depending on the deal between them, it belongs to one of them. Belongs to him or to him, but definitely not to you. Okay. Now, I want to steal equipment. Listen carefully to the plan. I want to steal equipment from a Jewish farmer and to blame the Arab workers that they stole it, that he should fire all of them and hire Jewish workers instead, and then give him the money for the stolen equipment in a different way. Meaning I'm only stealing temporarily. to make him replace the Arab terrorist with Jewish religious tzaddikim that will work in his orchard. Allowed or not?
I don't think it's your special.
And if they're not terrorists? The answer is, God forbid, that's not the way of the Torah. To steal and then later to return, to blame innocent person, that's not the way of the Torah. Not allowed.
Allowed or not?
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
I was in a restaurant and one drunk man came and wanted to pay my bill. Am I allowed to accept or no? Or he's not responsible for what he's doing? Tomorrow, when he finds out what happened, he's going to go crazy.
If he gave it to you,
Someone that is very drunk, he walks like this, where he doesn't know where he is, doesn't know what name it is now. Even his name he may forget. And he say, I want to pay for the rabbi. He said, $300. Here, charge my card. You allowed to accept or no?
yes.
Sounds like a alert there. He sounds like he's alert a little bit.
The answer is, why? Because he recognized the rabbi? He only recognized the rabbi because he's drunk. When he's not drunk, he doesn't recognize.
Somebody else doesn't use my card.
So the answer is not allowed to take advantage on people that right now are disabled. It happened to me, by the way, not drunk. Person is mentally sick, 5% autistic. That's what he told me, that he's 5% autistic. He came to me after the lecture in Queens a few years ago, and he said, Rabbi, I would like to donate $1,000 to the Kiruv. That's before I knew that something with him is off. I said to him, thank you very much. We stand by the trunk. I want this book. I want to take out a credit card. I want to donate $1,000. I said, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Then he said, you know what? That's how he was talking. Why don't you make it 2,000? I looked at him. I'm beginning to smell something is off here. You know what? Make it 5. Who cares? Anyway, all this money belongs to Hashem. Make it 5. I realized that he's not 100%. I said to him, next time. Right? It's like stealing. He's not responsible.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yeah.
But what if they give you alcohol to make you drunk and screw you?
No, that sometimes happens, things like this. Sometimes it happens that people in a places, in a casino, they want you to drink a lot.
My own family.
They want you in a casino to drink a lot because the more you drink, the more money you put. That's all these kinds of tricks is against the Torah. One more question. We want to go to hotel for vacation. We have 4 kids, but they can manage with 3 beds, meaning 2 of them are small. They can be in 1 bed. Are we allowed to say to the hotel that we only have 3 kids because anyway 2 of them only need 1 bed?
Yes.
Allowed or not allowed?
Yeah, isn't that expected?
They're only kids.
As long as you're not
They're
taking
siblings.
food.
And now the answer is you have to consult with the hotel.
Yeah.
You have to call them and tell them, look, I have 4 kids, but I only need 3 beds. Only 3 beds. And I will only pay for 3 beds if you agree that 2 of them will sleep in. Usually I think they will take the deal. Someone that is not taking my call, am I allowed to call him from someone else's number that he doesn't recognize to go through?
Yes.
The answer is not allowed. It's called gnevat dat. It's deceiving. If a person doesn't want to talk to you, you cannot force him to talk to you.
What if it's for his own benefit in the end?
If it's for his own benefit, it's his problem. Someone doesn't want to talk to you. He take the bad with the good.
We're family.
What if it's family or relatives or family friends? It's okay, right?
Not allowed.
Yeah, what if he's still coming?
No, if he owes you money, it's a different story. Because it says, אם נבל תתנבל, בתחבולות תעשה לך מלחמה.
But there's a lot for them not to answer you.
Yes. What, do you have to talk to everyone who wants to talk to you? You're not a slave of everybody who wants to talk to you. You have the right to decide who you want to answer to and who you don't want to answer to. That's the minimum, the laws of freedom. You force me to talk to you anytime you want. It's like, yeah, you will be my therapist when I say so. At 2 a.m. If you see how many phone calls from how many not normal people I get every day, you won't believe it. They call at 2 a.m., they call at 3 a.m. They're not responsible to what they're doing. They call on Shabbat. On Shabbat, yeah. Even on Shabbat, and then they don't even remember they called on Shabbat. It's either they took the med or they didn't take the med. Now, when my friend is calling me in the car and I only speak when on speaker, because if you hold the phone, you can get a ticket. Am I obligated to tell him before the conversation starts that he's on speaker and there are people in the car, or I don't have to?
Yes, you're obligated for his privacy.
The answer is yes. If you're not telling him, it's gnevat dat. My neighbor took my son from school for me. She picked him up. He did not put seat belt, and she got a ticket for it. My son, sitting in the back, Israeli policeman pull her over. Why the kid in the back doesn't have seat belt? And she got a ticket. Do I have to split the ticket with her or pay it in full? Who is responsible for this ticket? The driver or the mother of the boy? The driver say you should have taught your son that when he gets in a car he has to put a seat belt. The mother say you should have known that the driver is responsible for everything goes wrong in his car. So now either the mother pays it or the driver, or 50-50.
50-50.
What's the law? Okay, now you have two options. Who has to pay? He already said 50-50, so there's two options left. Oh,
The driver.
driver is fully responsible. But since she did you a favor, it would be very nice that you should pay the entire thing. But in Beit Din, if you go to court, Jewish court, the driver has to pay. The bus is half empty, and I want to stretch on 2 seats. Do I have to pay 2 tickets?
No.
This person that asked that question is really annoying. He's lucky I don't know him. That's what Shlomo HaMelech meant when he said, Al tiyeh tzaddik harbe. Don't be more tzaddik than what Hashem is. The bus is empty. Who cares now if you're sitting on 2 seats? Anybody here losing? Why are you asking such a question?
Rules.
I was holding my phone. My friend moved his hand by mistake. He knocked down my phone on the floor and it broke. Does he have to pay me for the phone or no? If he did a not ordinary move, something that it's hard to expect, he has to pay. But if he acts normally, and you had to be careful not to get too close to him with the phone, then it's your responsibility and he doesn't owe you. Meaning, if I'm behind you and all of a sudden you go like this, whoa, hey, what are you doing? And he knocked down the phone. I couldn't expect it. I couldn't see it coming. But if he walks normally and I'm trying to cut him and you walk in the subway, people go, you try to go around him because he's going too slow for you, and because you were pushing yourself, the phone fell from his body, and he's not responsible. He didn't do anything wrong. In the parking lot, one car hit another car. The driver came out, checked the damage, and ran away. And I took a picture of his plate. Am I allowed to publish this picture in Facebook and ask anybody can tell who this car is?
No.
He was involved in hit and run accident. Allowed or no?
No, it's better to go to sheriff.
Anyone who knows this driver, please call me that I should refer you to the owner of the damaged car. Allowed or not allowed?
Not allowed.
Allowed. Allowed.
It's Lashon Hora.
You're searching for the thief. It's like the police put on TV. The police needs help. Anyone who recognizes this guy with a hood that was yesterday by the ATM in Citibank at 1 a.m. and he robbed an old lady, please call the police. It's allowed or not allowed according to the Torah? Allowed. I knocked down the Siddur in a synagogue on the floor and he got ripped. The cover got separated because I knocked it on the floor. Do I have to pay the shul for a new Siddur? Yes. You have to donate to the synagogue the value of the Siddur. Or you can fix the Siddur. Put a nice tape, fix it in such a way that, it will be great. I lost the key of my friend. He gave me his apartment key and I lost it. Because of that, he has to change the cylinder of the door now and pay $300 for it. Do I have to pay for the new lock?
Yes.
For the new lock?
Yes.
Because he may say, I have to pay you for a new key. I lost a key, I'm paying for a key. You want to change the cylinder, I'm not paying you for the cylinder. The other guy would say, it's all one unit. The cylinder without the key, or the key without the cylinder, it's not worth anything. Now when my house key is somewhere in a street, obviously I cannot sleep at night until I change the cylinder. Who's right?
No.
If someone finds a single key somewhere in the street, does he have a way to know what apartment it came from? There's no way to know. The person is paranoid. He wants to change the cylinder. I have to lose now $300 because I lost a $5 key? Let's go duplicate one of your keys and I'll pay for the duplication.
But there's no key. I can duplicate it.
He has another key. No, if he doesn't have, no, you're right. If he doesn't have an extra key, for sure you have to change the cylinder. No question here asked. But if he has another key and now you have to duplicate to make another key, whatever it costs, $5, $10, $20. This obviously you have to pay. Unless he tells you, it's okay, I have enough keys, you don't have to worry about it. But if... Huh? Yeah. So, so the answer is, believe it or not, the halacha is that every time you have a system with few pieces that are connected one to each other, you look at that as one unit. So when you lose a key, you're also responsible for the cylinder that goes with that key. Kids wants to play with chalks on the street and they want to draw on a sidewalk. White. Allowed or not allowed? If your kids they make the sidewalk dirty, you have to stop them, or you can let them go as much as they want.
Someone else.
If it's your property.
Someone else.
No, sidewalk, street, public territory. You know, in Israel, kids play on the street. They play with rope, they draw on the floor, all kinds of boxes, they jump, and they leave the dirt there. They're not going to wash it. When will it be washed? On the next rain, which can be in 6 months. Let's say now you're now in May. There's no more rain. From May until September, you won't have rain. 6 months, this white. Huh?
They can't take water and just like...
We're not talking if you can wash it with water. Now the kids are going and they're doing it. Allowed or not allowed? Depend on the guidelines of the city. If the city allows it or not. If it's a violation in the laws of the town, then they're not allowed. If it's not a violation, then it's allowed. I gave my friend an advice where to park. We were in a rush. I told him, park here, it's okay, park here. And then he got a ticket. And now he's blaming me, and he claimed I have to pay for it. Because I am the one who caused him to park there. Who has to pay for the ticket?
You split it 50-50. It's your advice, but he's the driver.
The answer is, the owner of the car is responsible. You should have gone out and checked.
Yeah, sure.
You know, nobody told you to trust the passenger that was with you. My tree is making the backyard of my neighbor dirty, the leaves. Every year, they fall. Do I have to build a fence, or to take out the tree, or to pay for the cleaning? You know how they come with the blower? Do I have to or no? The answer is yes. It's you making someone's a damage. It's his fault that you have a nice tree that every year thousands of leaves falls on his backyard. He has to pay for it. You have to pay for it. I have a neighbor like this. 24 years I pay for it. Not one time he offered, let me pay for the leaves that my trees make your entire backyard dirty. And it's not 1 or 2 leaves, it's 1,000,000 leaves. The gardeners have to come twice. The amount are so big that he has to come once, and then a month or 2 later he comes again. It's not in a week or 2. It's in a period of time, the falls, until all the leaves are gone. And we lucky, in the old days, it used to be bags, you know, like Home Depot bags. And you have to put all the leaves inside, and you have 50 bags standing on the sidewalk. And then a storm comes, and the bags are falling, and the leaves are all over the neighborhood. It was a nightmare. Now, Baruch Hashem, they come with a big truck, and they vacuumed all the leaves into the truck. And they probably sell it to someone. They're not just throwing at someone, they probably sell it, they grind it, I'm sure they use it. Don't be surprised next time when you buy a pillow from Temu that you're gonna have leaves inside. Now, why does it say in the Gemara that ladies took 9 cabin of conversation, meaning they talk non-stop? I know a lot of men that are like that. They talk non-stop and chat all day, and I know some very, very shy and quiet ladies. No? How do you explain that? All ladies talk non-stop?
Yes.
All men is quiet? Not always. The answer, we talk about the average. Everything, they say women are more smart than men. יש להם בינה יתרה. Well, every woman? No. The majority. Men are like this. All men? No. The majority. Okay, so whenever they talk about, that's the general rule, but there's always an exception to the rule. Am I allowed to listen to conversation between 2 people in a public territory when it's obvious to me that they try to make sure that nobody listens to what they talk? They go like this. And you know these annoying people? Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed to listen. It falls in a sin of you should לא תלך רכיל בעמך. Gossip. Not allowed.
What else is it?
Am I allowed to eat in the house of someone that does not pay taxes, meaning he cheat on his taxes? That's probably the same guy that asked that other question. No, allowed or not allowed? Let me rephrase the question to make it less annoying. Am I allowed to eat from a person that knows to be a crook in his business and cheat his customers? Meaning he's a thief.
Are you allowed to be a
It's not all his
crypto?
money.
Are you allowed to eat at his table? No, you're not.
I'm coming to his house, he serves food, glatt kosher, everything wrapped nicely from the kosher restaurant. But you know, in his business, it's all cheating.
All of his money.
Carpet cleaning. They charge for a carpet made in China that costs $50, $800 to clean it.
So all his money is stolen?
Oh, the answer is allowed. Why? We have to assume that some of his money is not stolen. Not everything is stolen. 50% is stolen, 80% is... Some money is kosher. This food came from the kosher. But if you know that his entire business is scam, there is nothing kosher, everything is a scam, then you're not allowed to take anything from him because it's not his.
Can I fall in that category? Cash advance, is it fall in that?
Cash advance is not stealing.
How do you?
Cash advance is taking advantage on stupid people who are desperate and they're willing to pay 50% interest. It's definitely a dirty profession. It's not something to be proud of, but it's not stealing because the person that borrowed the money knew the terms in advance. It will cost you 10 times more than a regular loan from a bank.
Well, the cash advance charge.
By the way, the Israeli banks is exactly like the cash advance. Yes, they tell you that the annual interest is 12% or 13%, but if you really calculate it, how they calculate it, it's 35-40% on overdraft. I don't know how almost every Israeli is in overdraft. How can they sleep at night?
Cash advance.
They charge so much money.
Take a credit card.
It's mamash crazy. We have to pray to Hashem that we will never need any borrowing, any loans from anyone, because we rather to be the one that give and not the one that receive. That's one of the things we're asking in Birkat Hamazon. If I see that my neighbor is torturing her daughter very cruelly, do I have an obligation to report her to the child services?
Strictly.
Maybe to a different.
What is it? Is it snitching? Is laminim velamalshinim al ti tikva? Is it moiser? You turning a Jew into the authorities? Or it's saving the life of this girl? Who do I have to look at? Both of them are Jews, the mother and the innocent child. What do I have to do?
Try to get a rabbi involved in the community, someone from the community.
So first we have to try in every possible way to stop it. Talking to her, like she said, sending a rabbi to her, doing everything I could to protect the child without getting her into problems. Because remember, reporting her to the child services is not just a one problem. All the other kids now, she may lose them. And they may take them and put them in foster. And foster will feed them pork and shrimps and cheeseburger. Foster, even though they try to keep the kids in the same community, foster, Jewish religious will go to Jewish religious. Christian religious, they will try to send them to Christian religious. Muslim terrorists, they will try to send them to Muslim terrorists. It will be hard to put a Muslim terrorist in the house of a kosher rabbi, you know. However, it's a big risk, so you have to do everything you can. But if in the end the kid is still in danger, you must report them.
What if you're a nurse in a children's hospital and you see abuse, child abuse from a child?
Also you have to report. Child abuse, there's nobody to protect those kids. If you see mamash and abuse, sometimes a kid fell and he got injured. It doesn't mean it's abuse. Not everything that look abuse, it's abuse. If you can talk with the kids and ask him, what's this? You got burned? Yes. Who burned you? My father is doing it to me all the time. Oh, now you report it. But if you say, no, I just got burned, I touched something hot, I touched the hot bowl in the kitchen, the kid is not confessing to any abuse. You don't just rush to get people into trouble, because the authorities sometimes are more wicked than the parents. And they could be racist people, and they come to a family that they hate. They are racist. Could be Jews, could be black, could be, I don't know what, Muslims. So the people sometimes automatically reject this kind of people. They don't like them. They have all kinds of bad opinion about them. They will actually go after them to hurt them. Sometimes the representative of the authorities is more dangerous than the actual abuser. Therefore, you know, in general, before you do anything, you always consult with your rabbi. Many times it will make you see things you didn't see before. When I got married, I wasn't so religious. I promised my wife that I'll take her to a trip to tour the world. You know. Then we became religious, and I read that it's not allowed to leave the Holy Land. There's only 3 exceptions to the rules, and to go on a trip is not one of them. What should I do? He says that the problem is that sometimes he has to go overseas with his work that they're sending him, but that's work. But to go on a trip, his wife was expecting to go on that trip, and he doesn't think it's allowed. What's now? Allowed or no? Take her with you on one of your business trips. That's it. You kill 2 birds with one.
And it's not business and not pleasure.
But she's allowed to go then? She's not going to business.
It's not business and it's not pleasure. Good point.
Serious.
Well,
She's not allowed to go though. She's not doing business.
I want to go to Uman to visit Rabbi Nachman, that promised that anyone who will come to his grave, he will grab him out of hell. How exactly is going to grab him out of hell if he's in heaven? Huh? Nobody thought about it. To take someone out of hell, you have to be in hell, no? You want to save the hostages from Gaza, you have to go to Gaza. Cannot sit in Yerushalayim in the yeshiva and get Moshe out of the dungeon of Gaza.
That's what they have the
You
most.
say that Rabbi can do that? Take their communion?
Besides the stupidity of thinking that the rabbi, as great as he is, can take you out of hell, that's already another issue. But the question is, are you allowed to go to a grave of a tzaddik which is out of Israel? The answer, it's not allowed to go out of Israel at all. Besides, to get married, you're not married, and they offered you a specific shidduch that looks like a good match. Not just to go and stay in New York for 5 years hoping they will offer you a girl. That's not allowed. If they offered you someone specific that looks like, based on a resume, that she could be good, maybe you even spoke on the phone and you see that it's a good match, or from what you heard between people that knows you and her, then you're allowed to go, date. If it's fine, if it's going to work out, fine. If not, you return to Israel. Or to save a Jew from prison, to release him out of jail, to pay bail, to pay the kidnappers, to get him out, to save him from capture. And the third reason is if you don't have a high quality learning of Torah in Israel, and you can have a much higher learning out of Israel, especially Shiva in America, in Switzerland, in Europe, anywhere that the level there known to be better than all the possibilities you have in Israel, to improve the quality of your learning Torah, it's permitted to go out of Israel. And there is a fourth opinion that it's questionable, not according to all opinion, to sell rare merchandise that you cannot sell in Israel. You have colored diamonds, blue diamond, pink diamond, 10 karat, millions of dollars. Nobody in Israel at that time, now today Baruch Hashem in Israel you have 50 billionaires. So you have clientele. But in the old days, let's say, nobody has the money to buy this kind of stones. You have to go to New York or to Beverly Hills or to Dubai to sell it, or Geneva. That's where you sell this kind of stones. You're not going to be able to sell it in Israel. No one has the money for it. So some say, limkor schorato, if you're stuck with merchandise that you cannot sell in Israel, then they give you permission to leave, to sell it and come back. But there is no permission to go on a trip, and there's also no permission to go to Kivrot Tzadikim. So anyone who wants to go from overseas to Israel, to the grave of the Tzadikim, good, because you're going to Israel. But to go out of Israel to the grave of Tzadikim anywhere in the world is not allowed.
When you meet Aliyah, you're not allowed to leave? To like go just visit them?
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Wow.
Some say that the Lubavitch Rebbe never came to Israel even once in his life, because he was holding that if you arrive to Israel, therefore you don't have permission anymore to leave Israel.
What if you take the grave and send it back to Israel?
Send who?
What if you take the grave, you dig it and send it back to Israel?
Some people did it. They brought a lot of righteous people into Israel.
Is that allowed?
And by the way, I have news for you. I'm glad you said that because you reminded me that the grave of Rabbi Nachman Mibreslev was moved to Israel. There are 3 rabbis that testified in a court that they took his body, put it in a suitcase, and brought it when it used to be USSR. There was no September 11 yet. So you can get on a flight with a bag, nobody checked. I remember when I came to America in 1989, I got on a plane with a suitcase. Now one thing was checked. It's like going on a bus. You put the suitcase, they take it, goodbye. No machines, no opening the bag, no liquid. Look how much we suffer from these Muslim terrorists. Life was great. You get on a flight 15 minutes before, you get your ticket, you give them the suitcase, goodbye. Nobody asks question. Did you pack by yourself? Anyone gave you something to take? Imagine you say yes. It's now 3 hours. What they gave you this book? We suspect that there's poison in the book. Hold on, we have to send it to a lab. Come back tomorrow, we'll try to put you on the next flight. Who's gonna say yes? Whatever, no, anyway, so, by the way, you should know, in Israel and here, when you go on the terminal with thousands of people, stores, duty free, a lot of noise, sometimes background music, you speak to your friend or to your wife, thinking nobody listens. There are people sitting with screens, they aim on people that they suspect, and they hear every word you whisper. Every word you whisper. One time I took money to my yeshiva. Usually I send it with people, few thousand with him, few thousand with them. I took it myself. I was with my wife and 3 of my kids. Now, you know, the law in America, you're not allowed to take more than $10,000, otherwise you have to fill up papers. And then they begin to investigate you. Where you have $10,000 from? You robbed the bank? By the way, it's the same $10,000 already 100 years. When they made that law, you could buy a house with the $10,000. Today, you cannot buy a watch. It's the same 10,000. But innocently, really innocently, I thought I have no problem. I had a little bit more, but we are 5 people. My son was older than 21, me, my wife, and 2 other kids, 17 and 19. That's 5 people, it's no problem, it's divided between. Apparently, even if you're a family of 20 people, you Bin Laden with his 100 kids, all 100 people, the family of Bin Laden, on one permission for $10,000. That's the genius American law. One person, 100 people, the whole Bedouin tribe, 10,000. Now, if you think that you're gonna go in one aisle for the immigration officer and your wife will go number 13 when you go number 9, right away they catch you. They know you were on the same flight. They hear everything you say in the terminal, and now they even can see into your bags and see what's inside when you just walk near them. So the guy called me up right before we were on a plane. My little child ran already to the plane. Run, get him. You had to see the investigation. But the guy, he said, you don't know that you had to go fill up a paper. I said, what do you want? There's 5 people here. If it was only me, of course I would. But we are, some is here, some is there. We are 5 people. No, my friend, it doesn't matter 5 or 10. It's the same amount for everyone. I said, how can it be? It's not logical. That's the law. Baruch Hashem, he saw that my wife is so nice. He was embarrassed. And he said that. You're lucky, she's very nice. For her, this time I let you go. But fill up the paper.
And give us $500.
And then there was an Arab next to me. I don't know what they found in his suitcase. But when I was sitting on the flight, I saw from the window how they put him in a SUV with handcuffs. Yes. I don't know what they found in his bag, but whatever the case was, from the window I saw how they taking him out with his suitcase, put him with the handcuffs in the SUV of the security service and took him somewhere. Tov, how can you define Jewish identity in one word?
By his nose.
In one word. One word.
Kosher.
Mother. Torah?
The eyes, they were like...
Torah. There's nothing without Torah. Torah, you're Jewish. No Torah, you're Goy. That's the law. Don't learn Torah, don't keep mitzvot. You're like a Goy. There's no difference. Am I allowed to pray that the Jews in exile will be hunted by anti-Semite goyim, that they will be forced to make aliyah to Israel? It's the same guy, probably. Same guy. Do you understand the logic behind the question or no?
Yeah.
He wants something good to happen, that all Jews will go to Israel. There will be no exile. And between you and I, 80% of the Jews will never leave America unless they feel that their life is in a risk, or that they don't have parnasa, or their money is in a risk. If they see a Holocaust is about to happen, they'll run away maybe. Some people did not run away in Germany or in other places, even when they already made the Jews all kinds of restriction, you cannot sit on a bench, you have to walk with the yellow star, you cannot get on this bus, you know, they made all kinds of laws, and they still did not run away. They were hoping maybe it will go away until they killed them all. So the question is, this person wants to wish us bad, that Mandani and his friends will hunt us, and we will move to Israel faster, and that will be good for the Jewish nation as a unit. Allowed or not allowed?
Not allowed.
You're free to do what you want to do.
Chalila, זה רשעות. That's a wicked act. To wish people to suffer because you want a dream of yours to come through.
It's a free
A
world.
dream of ours to come true at least.
You gotta tell me what to do.
I made a party to my friend that is getting married, surprise party, and the tragedy in Meron happened today. It was Lag BaOmer. Remember a few years ago? 45 people died. So everyone is mourning, everyone is sad. Should I cancel the party?
Yes.
No. No, because life goes on. Life
Depends
goes
if
on.
it's a danger involved.
You're acting in your life. You can't be.
The answer is, if it can be cancelled, cancel. If it cannot be cancelled, compromise. Start with Tehillim group. Bring all the people, read 20 minutes Tehillim. Then bring a speaker to say Dvar Torah to the elevation of the souls of the people that died, and make the party not as happy as usual. Meaning it will be a mixture of happiness and sadness. After all, she's getting married. So it's supposed to be a happy event. How can I like an annoying person? Very annoying.
Ignoring it.
I have mitzvah to like him. He's a religious, annoying person. So annoying. Every 5 minutes he calls, asking stupid questions, making bad comments. Annoys you. How can I like someone like that? Try to find the good in him. That will help. Also think, what would have been if I would be in his shoes? It's very possible I couldn't hold myself, just like he cannot. That will help, but the truth is that it won't be easy.
Good answer. I go back with it.
Are we supporting kfiyah datit? Do you know what kfiyah datit means?
No.
We want to force the religion on the secular people. Keep Shabbat, eat kosher, stop with this, stop with that, enough with this, enough. Kfiyah datit. Is this the way of the Torah or no?
Only Aristotle.
So the question is divided to two categories.
They're Jewish.
One on the individual and two on the public. Public. We have the laws of the Torah for the land of Israel. Like the Torah say, no idol worshipping is allowed. The Torah say, no abomination is allowed. The Torah say you're not allowed to leave goyim that are idol worshippers to live in Israel.
Or the mikvah for the
The Torah say not to have mercy on the idol worshippers that live in Israel. There are at least 100 rules that the Torah gives how to conduct life in the land of Israel. We have to force it on all the other people, or we have to surrender to them because they are the majority. Like when they want to do public transportation on Shabbat, buses, trains, we have to fight and demonstrate and threaten them that we leave the government and they won't have a majority because they want to turn Israel into a goyish state, and we're against public transportation on Shabbat, we're against businesses opening on Shabbat, we're against sports in a stadium on Shabbat. Everything becomes a war. Is that the right way? Or leave them alone, let them do whatever they want, we focus in our community and let Hashem give them what they deserve to get. What's the right approach?
Both. You can do both. Like the elections and the politicians.
The answer is that the obligation from the Torah is to force the laws of the Torah on the public. However, you and I know that it won't be an easy mission at all. Because the more you force on them, the more they hate you and the more they fight against the Torah, as you can see. So what's the solution? To do kiruv, to spread the truth of the Torah a lot, and to save another one, and another one, and another one, until the religious people in Israel will become a majority. I want to remind you that 25 years ago, when they saw that there are so many Baalei Tshuva, they imported 1 million Russians, and Ukrainians, and Belarus, and Moldovan from the USSR, and they brought 1 million people, which 960,000 of them are not Jewish. They gave each family $15,000 gift, which was probably 2 years of work in their country. 15,000 25 years ago was like 50,000 today. And that's what tempted them to come to Israel. Why did they do it? To overturn the majority of religious people in Israel and the many Baalei Tshuva. They were worried they're already becoming 30%. Let's bring 1 million communists that are not religious, and they will make the Haredim less than 20%, 17%. If we would let them continue to grow, another 10, 15 years, they'll become 51%. And we will be 49% and will take over the government. So they imported many goyim. These goyim, by the way, were only million back then, but today they're around 3 million. I want you to remember that goyim are also multiplying. They have a kid or two, and 5 dogs, yes. Israel has more than 1 million dogs. You know, 2 years ago, when I was in Israel, I had a lecture, more than 1 million dogs in Israel. I was talking about real dogs. But the lefties, they thought I'm talking about the Arabs. You had to see what curses I was getting. Shame on you, you racist. You're calling the Arab dogs? It took me a few seconds to understand what are they talking about. That's when I realized they talk about that lecture that I said that Israel now have more than 1 million real dogs. Almost every other person in the street walks with a dog. This government that resist and fight the laws of the Torah against God and against the will of most of the people in Israel. I think this question should be more addressed against the Supreme Court. Because the government, as bad as they are, they're not even 10% bad like the Supreme Court is. Because the government are willing to compromise almost on all religious laws. The one who make all the problem are the lefty extremists. They control the Supreme Court. And they are the one who make all the problems. Are they going to be judged for it? The answer is absolutely. Severely. Every problem that was caused in Israel because of the ruling, they will pay for each individual. Every person who had to leave yeshiva, every person who had to eat not kosher because of them, every bachur yeshiva that got arrested, Every one of them will have to pay for each one for his entire life. Imagine what's waiting for these 15 wicked judges. Imagine. The soldier, Ro'i Klein, Hashem Yikom Damo, that jumped on a grenade. There were a few soldiers that were supposed to die. An Arab threw a grenade. It took a few seconds until it exploded. He ran and jumped with his stomach on a grenade. It exploded on his heart. He died and saved all his soldiers. Why isn't not considered committing suicide? That it's very much forbidden. Are you allowed to kill yourself to save others?
No.
The Torah says, "Chayecha kodmim." Your life comes first. Why would you sacrifice your life to save the life of others?
That's his gut reaction, and he was going to do it and did it, and
The answer, that's called Mesirut Nefesh. You know what it means, Me'abed Atzmo Ladat? When the Torah talks about against committing suicide, is only to people that did it with da'at, with wisdom. They sharp, they alert, they understand what they're doing. Not people that are mentally sick, not people that took pills and it drove them crazy, not people that were in deep depression. People like this cannot think straight. So if they kill themselves, you can still say Kaddish for them, and they're not responsible for their committing suicide. Someone who does it because he lost money, because his girlfriend broke up with him, things like that. So he has some crisis in his life, he go and kill himself. That's the one that the Torah say that it's a huge crime, and he will be judged as a murderer. But someone who sacrificed his life to save the life of more Jews, that's a mitzvah. That's what King Saul did. He jumped on a sword because he knew that if he would let the Philistines kill him and they chop his head off, and they bring his head to the Jewish soldiers, they will all be so sad, and they won't be able to fight after that, and they'll kill them all. So he rather killed himself than to fall in their hands. So any act that you give your life to save the life of many others is not a sin, rather it's a mitzvah. But the Gemara says that if you walk in the desert with someone else and you have enough water just for you until you get to the town, if you drink, you will get saved and he'll die. If you give him half, both of you will die. If you give him everything, he will live and you die. What does the law is? What's the law? You have to drink. If you give him half, you will be punished for that. You caused the death of one extra person. Instead of one, now two died because of your foolishness. If you gave him everything, you also will be punished. Because the Torah says, Chayecha kodmim. Your life comes before his life. Except one exception to the rule. That it's a mitzvah to give him the water. Who knows? If he is a Talmid Chacham and you are not, then it's mitzvah for you to give him the water and sacrifice your life. Why? He benefits the Jewish nation much more than you. For the sake of Hashem, I'm giving you my water because you're an important rabbi. You do good in the world. And he's dead, will be credited with all the good things that that person will do, that rabbi, from now on, he will have a share in it. Because without his sacrifice, none of that would ever happen. We have few more minutes to finish. Few more minutes.
And this is.
And.
Sorry, Rabbi Mizrachi, but.
And.
Stairs that you from the lack of use. I'll be quiet. What about all of I promise. Come on.
Are we allowed? Are we allowed to take revenge against an Arab village that some of the terrorists came from that village and killed some of our children? You know, in Israel it's a common thing. Few terrorists come from a village and they kill some people, and now people wants to go to that village and burn cars.
Yes.
Allowed or no?
Allowed. And King David in Tehillim says you can dash the rock on the head.
The answer is you cannot go and punish innocent people for something that people of their city did. You have to find the criminals and punish them. Besides, it's the job of the police. If everybody will go and become a vigilante, it becomes an anarchy. Then they retaliate and you retaliate, and it's never going to end. They do it sometimes. They burn cars, they go, and then what happens the next week? The Arabs retaliate and the Jews retaliate, and it will never end. Few Jews attacked an Arab on the street. How should I address this issue? They got angry, emotional, because they kill Jews all the time. Bunch of Jews saw an Arab on the street, boom, bam, boom, beat them up.
Just ignore it.
The answer is not allowed. It's very severe. The job of the police is to catch the criminals. You cannot just take an Arab, just walk in the street and beat him up for another Arab who murdered someone. That's not how the Torah acts. How do I have to treat Arabs when I see them in Israel? When every one of them is a potential terrorist. It happened thousands of times that the people that walk in your house after months slaughter you. Even months you feed them, you pay them every day for the war, and then after a year they slaughter you. So how do I have to treat them? I see them coming to the bus, and a waiter in a hotel, a waiter in a restaurant, a taxi driver, a bus driver. Here today, a bus driver drove that Haredi boy and killed him. Today, in a demonstration in Yerushalayim. There's no question that they make a lot of damages. They spit at the food, they throw their urine in the food. They brag about it on TikTok and Facebook, all over the Arab world. It's known. There's a lot of clips that they describe what they do. In the hotels, in the restaurant, every restaurant you go in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, it's all Arab workers. And you're not eating the hummus you think you're eating. Let's put it that way. Or the ice cream that they serve you for dessert. So the question is now, how do I have to treat an Arab who I just met?
Respect. You have to be careful. It's like everybody.
בדיוק, that's the answer. כבדהו וחשדהו. We give the proper respect, you're polite, but you are alert that any second he may pull a knife and try to slaughter you. You don't turn your back to him. You don't leave your children with him alone in a house. You never know what can happen. While he's there, he's working. Should I make you tea? Are you hungry? You want to eat? Of course, no problem. But you can never fall asleep. You have to be on alert non-stop. One last question for today. I have to sell my car. A Jew is offering me 5,000 for it, and an Arab offers me 7,000. Am I allowed to sell to the Goy, or I must sell it to the Jew?
The option to pay 7.
The answer is, as long as the difference on the price between a service of a Jew and a service of a Goy is not more than 16%, then you're obligated to give the job to your brother. If it's more than 16%, then you can get the Goy to do the job. So for instance, if the Jew, the Arab is asking $100 for the job to fix it, and the Jew is asking 150, you're allowed to use the Goy. But if the Arab asks 100 and the Jew asks for 115, you have to use your brother to do the job. But up to 16th, meaning 6th of the price, then you still have to use one of your own brothers.
Do you auction with the brother and the Goy?
Yeah, of course. You can. One of the ways to lower the Jews is to show them on WhatsApp how much the Arab wanted for the job. And you tell them, look, Ahmed wants 100. How come you want 180? Some Jews have ego. So go to Ahmed. And we will see if you'll be around next week. You know, they like to add salt to the story, on the blood. Yeah, to saving $50, you're going to risk your life? Good luck. Good luck. I will read Tehillim for you. Shame on you. You gave the terrorist the job and not to your brother? The Arab has to pay tuition for yeshiva? He make you feel so guilty. Come, take the job. I'll pay you double.
Yeah, but if you talk about $1 million, it's 50% off.
By the way, why Arabs is cheaper on the job? You know why? 2 reasons. One, they don't pay any taxes. 0 taxes.
And they got no break.
They don't pay tax on the product. They don't pay income taxes. They don't pay permits to build a house. They don't get COO. Everything there is piratic. And the cost of living in their town is less than half than the cost of living in Israeli town. Everything there is much, much cheaper. If you go to buy in an Arab territory, you will be shocked how cheap. You want to buy a faucet to your kitchen. You go to the Tambur, 800 shekel. You go to Ahmed, 2 minutes drive. You go to the village, 160. Same one, 250. You can buy sometimes 2 or 3 for the price of one. But it's a major life risk. Many people just didn't come out. They went there and they got killed. Or they threw fire into their car and burned them. So if you don't care about your life, you try to save $100 and you jeopardize your life, you're stupid. What can we do? Don't trust Hashem that He will give you enough parnasah to pay for a faucet in a Jewish store. At least don't. By the way, when you go to a place like this, you lose a lot of your mitzvot. Because every time you put yourself in a place of a life risk, the fact that you didn't die means Hashem had to make you a miracle. For that miracle, He cleans a lot of your credits. It's like points with the airline. You want to upgrade your seat to more room? 5,000 points. It takes away from your credit. עושים לו נס, מנקים לו מזכויותיו, the Gemara say. You lose some of your credits. Why putting yourself in a life risk? You know, it's strange how weak we are when it comes to confidence in Hashem, in emunah. We don't have emunah. If we had emunah, we would never check prices. Shem, I'm in your hand. You know how much meat I need, how much chicken I need, how much fish, how much gas I need for the car, how much clothes for the kids, tuition. I'm in your hands. Doesn't matter how much it costs. You have to give me X, Y, Z to live. Whether it costs 1,000, whether it costs 5,000. It's your problem, not mine. I'm gonna go now to a village that everybody looks at me and waiting for the opportunity to stab me or to shoot at my head because I want to save 200 shekel, 300 shekel. And a lot of us doing it. We are doing it. Thousands of Israelis are now buried in cemeteries because of this. Thousands. They lost their life in a young age to save 200 shekel, 300 shekel, 500 shekel. They risked their life. Can you believe it? Sad, very sad. Be'ezrat Hashem, Monday, we will see you. I want to just let you know that at the end of the month, end of January, I fly to Israel. I will be there 17 days. I have 3 Shabbatons in a row. Lectures, interviews, debates. I'll be back before Purim, Be'ezrat Hashem. So we will be back. I'm coming back on the 18th. So after the 18th of February, we will renew the lectures. But for now, we're here until the end of the month. What's today? The 7th? Today is what? 6th. So next week will be the 13th. I'll be here. The 20th I'll be here. And the 27th. So we have 3 more weeks. Come for the next 3 weeks, then you have 3 weeks off. All right? Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen ve'Amen.